Who's there? I can feel you watching me from a place beyond my sight. Whoever you are, please tell me. Does our world pique your interest? Pardon my curiosity, but would you tell me your name? That is to say, tell me who you really are. The one who meets my eyes across a strange threshold.
Nah, I'm good, man. Oh, that's right. This is the okay, so this game's kind of weird. We are the guide for the protagonist, and it's asking us what our name is, right? And then at one point you get to name the protagonist as well, and there's this weird error that pops up that it's like, are you sure you want the names to be the same? That could cause issues. And I'm like, ah, no. What are you talking about? Of course I want it to be what I typed in. Oh, that's right. I'm going to do it again anyway, because I can't remember exactly what happened. But please correct the entry. Oh, that just backs me up. That's weird. I don't like that. Yeah, see, this is indeed, your name is indeed Von Roku. You will name the protagonist later. What type of Inception multi-layer thing did I not realize was happening when I played this demo the first time?
Ah, a most unusual name. One I've never heard in our world. Which suggests to me you might reside in a world beyond ours.
This has the creepy vibes of Psycho Mantis from, like, it's gonna, date me a bit, but when Metal Gear Solid first came out for the PlayStation, that version, not the like NES version, there's this part with Psycho Mantis where he's like, I will tell you stuff about your past, and he starts reading off to you the games you've been playing. And then, like, he's like, put your controller on the ground. Because this is when Rumble was first new, to preference that a little bit. Put your controller on the ground. I can make it move. And it, like, vibrates really hard and, like, skitters across the floor. Dude, I lost my mind. I turned the game off. I left. I did not come back and play it for, like, a week. Because it just freaked me out so bad. It was, like, brand new that, one, he could read my memory card. And, like, God, it made him feel so sentient. And it was so... like this weird surreal interaction that I could not handle it as like an 11-year-old. An 11-year-old that's on the spectrum too, so it's like I didn't know any better. It was just one of those like, oh my God, it's real. Terminator is real. Everybody run. This has that same weird vibe to it for me of like, I know you're there beyond the void in another world, and I'm like, but that's me. I don't like it.
It is a curious thing that in your eyes, my entire world is but the dawn of a story yet untold.
This whole thing, even some of the looks on it, make it look like it's a storybook. And there's a weird interaction between this picture here that you're seeing. There's a, you'll see. We'll come back. We'll come back to this, but remember this picture.
Or to put it another way, this is a fantasy. But can it truly be dismissed as something so far removed from you? If indeed you wish to cross to our world for a time, I would first ask that you indulge one question.
Okay.
Is fantasy limited to the confines of imagination? Would you call it a powerless creation?
I forgot. Oh my God, my skin. Ah. Okay, hold up. I have been reading and delving more into alternate reality. Like, because you have like isekai, right? They get taken to another world, but it's dressed up in this, like, clearly this would never happen, right? But then there's stuff like, oh gosh, Legendary Mechanic, I think is what it's called. Basically, same concept. Dude gets isekai'd into a game, but what actually happened is he fell into a pocket universe. And that pocket universe was slowly collapsing in time, and it was looping over and over again. And the pocket universe had a system in place to like try to repair itself, to try to save everybody before the collapse happened. So right before the collapse would happen, it would re-loop time again, but it had less time each time it re-looped, and stuff sped up faster and faster every time the bubble collapsed and reformed. But then at the tail end of that story, spoilers, technically the entire thing is spoilers, but at the tail end of that story, the protagonist starts to realize that the game that they've been playing has always been real, and that he's not trapped in a game. The people in the real world are interacting with the bubble, because the bubble sentience that's like protecting it is reaching out, trying to get help. Anyway, he gets everybody out of the bubble, saves everybody from the bubble, and they appear above Earth, and that's where the story ends. The story ends with this game that they've been playing this whole time merges in with the real world, because the real world was actually a part of that bubble pocket. And oh god, I don't know, it was too much. It freaked my brain out for a while. There's the other thing with I'm sidetracking so hard right now, but like I'm stalling is what I'm doing. I would say not
more
always.
Than wishful thinking, more than fiction, something capable of affecting the realities beyond its bounds. This must be what you believe.
Yes.
I confess, my own answer still eludes me. But consider, if fantasy is born from hope, a desire to make the world better than it is, then that hope can be made manifest. Thus does change come, and thus is fantasy forged into a new reality. Perhaps the story about to unfold before you will tell us. I'm thoroughly invested now myself. So, let this tale begin.
I do worry. Okay, so I struggle with telling voices and faces apart, and names. Like, all of that just kind of gets jumbled up in my head. And with him being called the Scheming Man, his voice is now tied to the name Scheming Man in my head. If someone showed up using the exact same voice, but they called themselves Luke, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference for a while, that it was still the same person. And sometimes in movies, I'm like, wait, isn't that Sean Connery? Because he's got like such a unique voice, but this, I worry. I can't even select that mode yet. I wonder if we have to beat the game first. We're gonna do it on hard. I have never beaten a Persona game. I hardly ever beat, yeah. Kind of the Skyrim issue. Like, in any time that there's multiple people with the same voice, like in my head, they're separate people, and I don't notice the difference for a while. But then when I do, it is so jarring that I just stop playing the game. It goes from I don't notice it for like 100, 200 hours to suddenly like, didn't I just talk to you in that building over there? Like, wait. But I do it with real people too. Like there's been times where I got a call the other day from a number I didn't recognize, and I didn't recognize the person's voice. It was my own mother.
Looks like
I didn't recognize my own mother's voice.
The capital's just through this desert.
Is it true then? The king is dead.
Aye, and the guards are more concerned with the funeral than keeping the roads safe. So now the monsters are roaming in broad daylight. No soldiers to stop them.
Monsters, huh? I've certainly been hearing the stories.
To say nothing of the vacant throne. There's a storm coming. Mark my words. That much is certain.
What's the problem?
They're bandits!
Come on, let's see some respect for the militia! Us folk, we're commoners. No crown or church will save us.
But Lord Luis will save us one and all. All we ask is a little tribute. You're with us or against us? And if you're against us...
An igniter? How'd they get rid of those?
Come on! Hey, keep it moving! Hurry it up! Next one! Huh? Look at you. What have we got here? He's an elder! So he is. No horns, no knife ears. Filthy gremlin like you. What you got in the capital? Oh, what's this? Looks like you've been holding out on us, boy.
When I originally saw that, I thought it was the heart from Kingdom Hearts with the two swords built into it.
Should have listened to us, chum. Now fall in line! Unless you want to get stuck like a...
Look like a...
You drew steel. I take it you are prepared to die by it.
Stand aside!
Ugh, this place already feels like a death trap. You hear all that stuff about Lord Luis saving us? Hey, you okay? You still got all your limbs attached?
Yep. All my limbs. And a neck piece that I'm not supposed to have for another, like, couple of hours. But
Well,
yeah.
at least they didn't figure out our mission. Definitely could have gone worse.
What mission?
Come on! This is no time for jokes. You do know that if anyone finds out who we really are, it's all over, right?
So, one of the things you're going to notice with over here is a lot of the people's faces are stylized to look like they're part of a picture book, like a story, like a fantasy storybook. Like you can see the like brushstrokes and stuff.
The mission's more important than either of our lives. If we screw this up, there's no going back.
Yes, yes, no going back. It's so sad.
Think we'll make it?
You don't look hurt though, so that's good news. You can move, right? I think we should find a place where we can see the whole area. This is our like basic tutorial on how
Let's
making
go.
menus and stuff work. I think we don't have anything we can do till we get to this part. Wait, sense something coming. Don't move.
Watch out!
Yeah, those look especially dangerous. So watch out. I don't think they've noticed us yet, though. Bay Sight. This is ability that lets you see what Galca senses in the environment. When you see an enemy you've never confronted before, it'll show up as unknown. Prepare as best you can. This is kind of like a tracking
Yikes.
sense or whatever.
I think we're in a little over our heads.
And
Everything's
we
pretty
are
standard.
trying to navigate without fighting.
Hurry!
It also tells you to hold right trigger for
He found
sprinting,
us.
and it's not.
Get
It's a
ready,
toggle.
everyone!
You know, I did a very good job last time I did this demo with not getting caught or even being seen. It's not a thing this time. A box? Oh, no. Okay. I was about to say, if that's loot, I will definitely risk my level 0 character for some loot.
Look!
I've read light novels. The loot in the tutorial's always the best.
Just checking, but you do remember what we're here to do, right?
Refresh my memory.
Right. What am I doing again?
Oh, I don't know. The mission that's more important than our own lives? First, we get to the royal capital and get you enlisted as a guardsman at the army's recruitment center. This could decide the fate of the whole country. We either do our jobs or we die.
I love the concept of a fae having a little tiny headband. Because someone had to make that.
And if it's all the same to you, I'd rather stay alive. So we've got to see this mission through.
Meh, we gotta.
Come on. We don't want the sun to go down on us in the wastes. Let's pull ourselves together and get back on the road. You know what they say. Anxiety breeds the world's cruelest monsters. I mean, fairies say that at least. I can at least cast my usual spell for you. It's the small comforts, right?
Right.
It's as though music's playing directly in her mind. The effect of Gallica's
Music was the
magic
first
is
magic
inspiring.
this world ever knew, after all. Makes the road a little easier.
No way. She turned the background music on just now. I didn't realize that there was no background music. She just turned the background music on. That's kind of, oh God. This game is going to be very cerebral. I can
Look.
just feel it.
Over there.
That's a road, isn't it? What a relief. Grand Trad is already in sight.
Let's go.
Almost there. Let's keep moving and stay
One
out of
sec.
sight. Now, I do know this section
all clear.
does have loot. Not a lot of loot, but here in the skeleton, there's like a couple of potions or something. We have to wait for this band of wolves or hyenas or whatever they are.
Yep, we're safe here. I don't like this.
Now, I'm
Nice.
sure
I bet
none of
we'll
this
find a use for
stuff
that.
is weak enough for me to be able to fight.
They look pretty tough.
It
Careful
definitely
now.
feels like a run from and do not touch type of deal. Uh-oh, this is bad.
Not good! Run for it!
This land of 8 tribes and 3 nations, all blessed by the power of magic. The United Kingdom of Uchronia. The year is 785. Uchronia is shaken to the core by the sudden death of its king. Anxiety breeds dissent among the tribes. Disparities tear them apart, and no mortal mind remembers the heroic tales upon which their land was built. By this story of fantasy, may this faded world be painted anew.
Yeah, I don't... Something weird going on with that. The tie to like paint and music and stuff. Oh, Great Seeker, bearer of fantasy empowered. Hear my wish and come forth from thy epoch of glory to grant me thy something. I moved on too fast.
Whoa, just look!
Whoa.
Get on with it, then! Drop the dog! Hang him dead! Please!
By the way, this
I've done
game's a little bit
nothing
more
wrong!
visceral than
Lying
some of the
dog!
other ones.
Don't
as a
try
heads
to
up.
deny it! You trample the law for the fun of it!
Let it be known, for misuse of an igniter, you will hang by the neck until dead.
Yeah!
There's no way that crowd was going to listen to anything a Paribus said.
Such a shame. Might you spare some coin?
The one thing you don't do in a big
Bless
city, give a
you.
beggar a coin.
Oh,
Careful!
hurry!
Don't you have any street smarts? Come on, kid! Look, we're not tourists here. We gotta stay focused.
Right.
You noticed back on the wagon? You might be the only Elder here, in the whole city even.
So, I originally thought Elda were human. But just wait and
Capital's
see. It gets
incredible.
weird. Game gets
Just
really
look at all the
weird.
different tribes. You never see this kind of diversity out in the countryside. Not that it's very balanced. I see more Clamars and Roussants than anyone else. Which means a dopey Elda kid's gonna stick out like a sore thumb.
Dopey.
Try to keep your head down, okay?
Hey, did you hear what they're saying about His Majesty? They say it wasn't illness at all. I heard it was foul play, assassination.
Shh, careful who hears you say that.
But it's just like the prince, isn't it? They say he was attacked in the dead of night. A war of succession is coming, I tell you.
Sounds like monsters have been prowling the countryside. They're sending the guard out to deal with them.
So, this has a similar menu feel of the Persona games and Shin Megami Tensei, where all their menus have like these little like moving bits or whatever. And for some reason, Persona menus kind of like dance. They don't just do this where they're like a changing like pastel or whatever over top of it. The whole thing shifts around a bit and like moves to the music. And it used to make me like majorly nauseous to even attempt to play those. Kind of one of the reasons why I never finished them. This style seems a whole lot easier on my head. I don't know that if that's because I have like a proper 120 refreshed monitor or what, but like none of this is making me nauseous and I'm kind of excited about it.
The army's really gone to hell. It's a far cry from when we had Count Luis at the helm, I'll tell you that much.
Hard to see how the nation can come back from this.
I love their magic vapes, by the way.
We'd not have to ask if the prince was still alive.
The king dead, his son stricken. Are there none left to bear the weight of the crown?
We've done all in our power, but not even the kingdom's best, the saint, could purify this affliction.
Over 10 years he has languished under this curse. How much longer can his body hold out? No doubt His Highness would protest. But since he cannot, we have no choice. For the man who cursed His Highness and murdered our king, there can be no mercy. I never thought I would have to ask this of you. but there are so few of us left now. There is no one else to turn to. Will you infiltrate the military to deliver a message to our contact there? This is your mission. For all our sakes, you cannot fail.
Hey, are you listening? Well, I guess I can't blame you for feeling nostalgic. Anyway, getting to the capital was only the beginning. Now comes the real high-stakes part. You gotta go get enlisted so you can meet up with our operative. Remember, nobody here knows who we are. Nobody here knows the prince might still have a claim to the throne. That means if we get busted, that's it. Nobody's gonna save us. Step 1. Let's figure out where the recruitment center is. Shouldn't be too hard, considering the need for soldiers. So?
Okay, there we go. Do you know where we're going? Feel free to admit that you're lost and ask for advice. Oh, you know, I never even saw how to open the map. Safe areas in town to save your progress, so we'll do that real quick.
Whatever will I do?
I'm actually going to go ahead and just overwrite what we already have.
All right then.
Yeah, I never even saw this map before. That's kind of cool. I can't really. I was hoping I could like highlight the buildings. Maybe when I get closer to them. So this has some of the other features that you see in these other games where it's like, see that above their head, where it's like, it's supposed to be them whispering to each other, and you can go and like listen to what they're saying. A Magla accumulator. We really are in the capital now. That's what this is. Oh, I did not realize we could talk to her. We don't have time for detours right now. If you're lost, check your map. Just go straight down Main Street and you should find the recruitment. We are going to not do that. We are going to run around and talk to all the people we can manage. Oh, the king is dead. So what? That's probably not something you should say so close to the garden. Up ahead is Sunshade Row. It's where we saw the gallows and those beggars. Let's not go there without a good reason. I am going to just kind of like tag and talk to everybody just in case. I don't know how much of this stuff can be affected by other things. Worry not. We have Santa Fax something. I don't know. I didn't read that fast enough. Look, there's also angel people. Gossipy noble.
But what is there to do now?
That was no ordinary animal. There were traces of something gargantuan crawling about after all. So many rumors concerning monsters in the wasteland. Why, it's all you hear about these days.
Not what I expected.
It's true, but I read about them in Julian's book. It claims there aren't any near the royal capital yet.
That's terribly unfair.
So as we walk around as well, you'll occasionally hear stuff that you can't properly interact with, of people just kind of talking about what you look like and like what's going on around them. The crowds are coming here. It must be for the royal funeral.
What's going on?
His Majesty passed away with no heir? Oh, I'm stuck in sprint mode. There we go.
Oi!
Here we are, Grand Trad. Frankly, I don't have good things to say for how carapaces are treated here. We know, we don't need you telling us. We got attacked by a monster in our hometown. We had no choice but to come here. Regardless of how we're treated here, we gotta make it work.
What's going on?